Fight for Fortune is not your traditional Uncharted game. A collaboration between Sony Bend and One Loop Games has crafted an Uncharted-themed card game for the PlayStation Vita for a nominally low entry fee of $4.99. Surprisingly, the game is great. For such a low value, you'll find a very deep card game that is very easy to get into. Fight for Fortune has a very easy tutorial that shows you the ropes. Everything was easy to understand, and I was ready to play my first match in minutes. While the game is easy to understand, it's also very deep. It definitely has a lot more to offer for a rich card playing experience. So here's how it's played. There's 3 card types: Factions, Fortunes, and Resources. Faction cards are from characters from the games, like Drake, Sully, Eddie Raja, and even some mercenary type dudes. Your Fortune cards are cards that have treasure values to them. You need to bank these values in order to use resource cards. Your resource cards are add-ons to your faction cards. So a small scenario would be to set down Elena, bank a Fortune card like Turquoise, then use that treasure value to give Elena a gun for added attack power. Each player has 5 slots to set cards in the field. When 2 faction cards are facing each other, they will be in combat at the end of each turn. The faction card has an attack and health value. Once you properly dispatch of an enemy, or have an open field of attack, you can hit your opponent directly and lower his health. First person to hit 0 is of course the loser. This is just a rough explanation of how to play the game. It's simple to jump into, but there's still loads of factors to consider in a more difficult match. You have to consider the type of factions, each card's effect, and the combos you can make. Certain heroes can be combined with each other for attack and health upgrades. Powerful villain cards can get an advantage over heroes, and some faction cards can reveal better fortune cards for you, and more. The easy learning curve combined with a deep card game is the ideal setup, and I love that about Fight for Fortune. Fortune Hunter mode is the single player, and it's pretty long. There's 17 characters you can play against. When you beat them, you get a card as a reward. That same person can be replayed at a higher difficulty for another reward. This is a good way to extend the longevity, though the computer doesn't necessarily become harder to beat. They usually just have a health increase, which means you're just replaying them and taking longer to beat them. Not to mention, the computer is actually pretty predictable once you've played them about 3 or 4 times. Online multiplayer in Fight for Fortune is exclusively asynchronous. You could just wait for your friend's turn, but it's not a true real-time multiplayer experience. You have to keep hitting a refresh button. I don't find that to be much of a problem though. I feel asynchronous is right at home for Fight for Fortune, as you can send your move, go back to single player, or just leave the app entirely and play other Vita games. Then you can decide for yourself when you want to go back and play again. This isn't a deal breaker for me, but it might be for some. There's also a local multiplayer option to share just one Vita between friends. What's really cool is the connectivity between Fight for Fortune and Golden Abyss. Collecting treasures, trophies, or bounties in Golden Abyss unlocks bonuses on your cards in Fight for Fortune. Even if you've already played Golden Abyss like I have, all you have to do is pop into Golden Abyss again, download the quick patch, start the game up once, and then Golden Abyss will retroactively give you all the things you've already earned in Fight for Fortune. There is a card viewing and deck building section of the game, but it's a little annoying to use. The loading time sucks when you're trying to look at all the cards. Fight for Fortune also has 2 available DLC packs, both Uncharted 2 and 3, which features new cards and character battles from characters in each game. Both are $2.99, and they're nice small extensions to your deck when you unlock new cards. They also offer more difficult single-player opponents. Fight for Fortune is pretty awesome, there's no doubt about it. If you don't mind the somewhat shallow single-player, you could easily spend 20 to 30 hours trying to unlock all the cards and beat everyone. Asynchronous multiplayer is fun between friends, though you may want real live-time multiplayer. But let's not forget, the game is very, very affordable. Even if you don't like Uncharted, this is a great card game. It's easy to get into, but still has a lot of depth to it. Consider Fight for Fortune another great PS Vita game that you should take a look at.